Welcome to Nawiri Wellness Stories. Here, we will share with you stories of how life affects us differently and impacts our wellness. If you can relate in any way to the characters in these stories, you're welcome to reach out to share your story too. Today's story is about depression. Anya was born to parents who struggled to make ends meet. She had a younger brother who was a couple of years younger than her. For this reason, he didn't seem to realize the gravity of their life situation in their early years of life. While Anya's parents tried their best to put food on the table for her and her brother, it was common for them to sleep hungry on many days. When Anya reached 12 years of age, as she was getting into adolescence, she lost her parents in quick succession. It was the mother who died first. She was sick for a few days and thereafter transitioned to the world of the dead. This death shocked Anya, as would be expected. Given her family situation, there wasn't any support after the death, and it was expected that she reverts to life as usual and to take on the responsibilities of her mother. She was to care for her younger brother, ensure that she ate and he ate, that he was bathed and went to school. The dad, while continuing to try to make ends meet, was very comfortable to have Anya take on the parenting role over her brother. Within 4 months of the mother dying, Anya's dad also died from an accident. He was riding on a motorcycle as a passenger and they were knocked by a vehicle that lost control due to a tire burst. This was a lot of emotional weight for Anya to bear. The loss of both parents in the space of 4 months. Very sad indeed. As Anya was still alive, she needed to continue doing the things that living people do. She was taken in by an auntie who was to ensure she continued to go to school. This was only honored for a short period. She continued with her primary school education, and upon sitting her class 8 exams, she didn't perform so well. She scored less than 250 marks. This was what marked the end of her formal schooling. The auntie told her that she could not pay fees for someone who wasn't serious with school. She was required to then take up adult responsibility and ensure that she put food on her table. She set out to look for work and got manual jobs working in people's homes and doing cleaning jobs in businesses. They were really hard times for Anya. She took her experience in her stride. At age 17 years, she met a young man who she fell in love with and who opted to marry her. She was so happy. She finally had someone who cared for her as a person, who treated her well. Within a year, they had a child, a son, who she now was fully immersed in her role as a mother with. Luck was not on her side when the husband died while she was 19 years old. She was widowed early. Her in-laws were not supportive and she was soon sent away from that home, shortly after burying her husband. With a small baby at hand, Anya knew that she had to work hard to ensure that the child was taken care of. She went on to look for work. She made some little money and was able to save some. With her savings, she got capital to start some small business selling vegetables. She also in the process got into a number of intimate relationships that didn't last. From these relationships, she got additional 3 children. Her life was a roller coaster, having the 4 children with different fathers, moving around doing her business and having the children living with different relatives who agreed to support them. All these events adversely affected Anya and she started losing hope in life. She would on occasion tell her friends that she was contemplating ending her life. They didn't take this seriously and would casually dismiss her. With her last husband, things really went south for her. They got into a joint business and the business picked up very well. As it stabilized, the husband thought to throw her out of the business so that he could run it alone. He asked her to go to the village to stay with his mother. The said mother was not very welcoming of Anya, and so that option was not preferred for her. At this time, the eldest son was clearing secondary school and was due to go to university. As she was following up on the registration process, he reached out to her for money to facilitate his application. She was very irritable and dismissive, and this puzzled the son, but he didn't know what exactly to do about it. Just before this incident, Anya had called her cousin to visit her. When this cousin came, she requested the cousin to take her youngest child of 6 years to stay with. She let the cousin know that she was feeling defeated by life and needed some space to breathe. She even said she was considering taking her life. The cousin declined to take the child and encouraged her not to give up on life. A few days after the cousin left, Anya called her again and told her she was seriously considering ending her life. The cousin took this seriously and went over to see Anya again. While she was there, Anya asked her to go out to check on the child, to bring her into the house and to get her something to eat. This the cousin did. When she returned though, she found the door locked. When she looked through the window, she saw Anya on the floor, breathing in pain. The cousin mobilized the neighbors and they gained access to the house. They took Anya to hospital. By this time, she was foaming in the mouth and was unconscious. It turns out that she consumed a pesticide. Anya did not make it. She died. It seems that Anya had an accumulation of traumatic experiences, some of which she did not have an opportunity to resolve. We are a collection of all the experiences we encountered throughout our lifetime. The experiences of childhood can leapfrog us to great or to a miserable adulthood. On some fronts, we aren't quite able to make the connection between our present-day experiences and our childhood. Where one experiences trauma growing up, it's very beneficial to have deliberate steps taken to call out the traumatic events and help the individual process. These deliberate steps, when taken on a timely basis, can make the difference between a rich and meaningful life. If you are a parent or a caregiver of a young person, consider being deliberate in connecting the young one to professional help after they experience any form of trauma. If an individual lets you know that they are thinking of taking their lives or ending their lives, do take them seriously. Can you relate to Anya's experience? We'd like to hear your experiences. You could reach us on 0745 629 Nawiri. That is 0745 629 474, or email us on nawiriwellness@gmail.com.